Here is a playhouse my father threw up in the 1960s for my sister Joanna. I began renovating it, for it was over 50 years old. Needed it. A front door slab of concrete and flagstone I surmised it needed, and so here is the process. Do note there is a tree attached to the house, in a bit of a slope to the land, so I tried to keep with this natural setting when forming the concrete pad. Try not to depart from nature, instead be a part of it. God did tell us to tend this garden. The form. You make a form usually using stakes and 2x4s. You want the concrete to be at least 2 inches thick, at best 4 inches thick. So if you're lesser than 4 inches, you may use other wood sources, plywood, masonite, or whatever meets your needs or style. Use a level so that you can point the water away from any structure or place you don't want it to go. The stakes and form are nailed together. Number 8 common nails will do fine. Using a level, you'll level your form by pounding down on the stakes attached to the form. Make sure your form top is at the level of the surrounding ground level to avoid trip and falls. Keep it ground level. This usually will require you to dig out your form to ground level, removing at least 2 inches to 4 inches of dirt, or deeper if you so wish. The base. This is a critical stage, often overlooked in all types of surfaces, concrete, asphalt, patio blocks, etc. Don't overlook this step. Gravel is usually employed today, but I only had available some old roofing slate and pieces of cement, and with a tamper I smashed them into the ground. The Romans were masters of this, and many of their roads, after 5,000 years, exist today because such a good base was put down. Also, I threw in some beach sand I had laying around and tamped that down too. The concrete mix. 4 80-pound bags of ready-mix concrete was used. I mix a half a bag at a time. Into each mix, I added 7 scoops with a small trowel of wood ash from the fireplace. They say the Romans used volcanic ash in their mix. With no volcano nearby, I had to settle for wood ash for added strength and waterproofing. The Japanese, for added strength, use rice flour. But if you have none of these, don't worry. Just make your base as strong and compacted as you can. Remember, concrete has stones in it, so you must vibrate and smooth it so that the stones go to the bottom. Also, always have a few buckets of water to immerse your tool, your shovel and hoe in. Don't let concrete set up on your tools. Keep them wet at all times and clean. That is essential. The setting of the flagstones. When wishing to place flagstones or other types of stones, have a picture in mind and add the concrete needed for each stone first. Be sure to level the concrete, vibrating it with your flat trowel so the stones in the mix sink down. Then place the stone on top. You'll have to press down and vibrate at the same time the stone to place it level in the mix, removing excess concrete as you do so. Note, while setting the flagstones in wet concrete, keep a 5-gallon pail of water with sponge and or rag available so that you can wipe the faces of the flagstones of any and all concrete residue. Don't forget this process. Lastly, the rub. Allow the set flagstones in concrete to set for a few hours. Then you must return and apply raw Portland cement to the joints or areas surrounding the flagstones. Sprinkling the raw Portland cement on joints or surrounding areas, then with a burlap or rough rag, begin a circular rub around the edges of each stone. Remember to keep the faces of the stone clean with a rag or sponge while doing this critical step. After this first rub, I did again the next day another rub. And I also sprinkled some water over the entire pad. Again, keep the faces of the flagstone clean. For the next 3 to 5 days, keep the concrete covered with a tarp at night. Lightly sprinkle each day some water on it. If hot, sprinkle and cover it. If cool, sprinkle and leave uncovered until night. The slower the curing, the better. And now, here is the finished flagstone.